Hi everybody, Matt Houston here. So today we're going to talk about Thieves Cant. Now, Thieves Cant is an interesting topic as most people don't actually know what it actually is, historically speaking, and most people implement it incorrectly during gameplay. Thieves Cant, first off, is mostly commonly used as a jargon, a means of describing something but using alternative words. For example, you might hear people refer to the police as pigs, or or if you played Mirror's Edge, you'll refer to the police referred to as the Blues by people that are working a little outside of the law. A fence is another form of this. For example, everybody kind of already knows that a fence is a merchant who is willing to purchase and sell ill-gotten goods. The other thing that Thieves Cant is, of course, is a cipher, a coded written language, though not in the way that Enigma was, for example, where it coded words individually based on a reel and moving things around, and the Enigma was a monster, but more commonly like hobo symbols. And if you're not sure what hobo symbols are, they're symbols that would commonly be scratched into a piece of the baseboard of a building or on a sign or on a rock somewhere, and it would signify that someone would give food if you talk about religion, or be a safe haven from the law enforcement, things like that. Typically in gaming, it's sometimes used as a means of noticing where traps are. I find this kind of strange, as it would be very weird for someone that knows Thieves Cant to go through a place where there's traps and all kinds of manner of things, write a symbol signifying it, just to leave without the loot. Very strange to me. There's probably other ways that you could implement it, none that I have found particularly useful. Thieves Cant is more of a social thing. So as always, most of my videos are geared towards my current campaign, and the main thing that it is going to be used for, or rather it has been used for, is the trading of information inside of a town. But of course, before you can trade information, you first need to know whom you can trust for information. Of course, working under the criminal codes doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to end up with reliable or trustworthy information, but thieves and beggars tend to trust each other as they don't like society on a grand scale too much most of the time. So in Astara, which is my world where my current campaign is taking place in, it's mostly used by the criminal professionals, also sometimes known as double ringers. They'll wear rings. The material is kind of inconsequential on their index finger. That's kind of actually hard to see, on their index finger and their pinky finger, and they'll both be of the same material, though the material doesn't really matter. They could be wood, they could be metal, they could have diamonds on them, anything. But the point is that they are wearing two bands on two different fingers, specifically the devil horn fingers, ironically enough. Didn't notice that until actually recently, and that signifies that they are either open for business or that they are part of the society that understands what this language is, and that they're trying to signal to others that they do know these things. Of course, this person doesn't actually know who you are, but they understand the implications of your old friend gesture. If they don't, they're probably not part of the society, and they're probably not going to have a clue what you're talking about. Generally speaking, you'll ask them to join you for drinks or join them in their activities or a card game later, generally to signify that, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this area, maybe you could help me out. Generally speaking, when dealing in the double ringers, you want to deal with a player or someone who deals information so that you can gain the information that you need in order to get to the person that will give you the job that you want. The player, or the person with information, is generally playing cards. As a result, that's how you will portray the information. So of course you sit down, act like you know the guy that is dealing the cards from the deck, especially if he has the double rings on his fingers, and enjoy a good game of cards and some lovely conversation. Of course, the conversation to anybody listening in will be a simple conversation about anything, really. Could be a long list of things, anything from common, personal, to professional, to simple gossip. However, there is an underlining bit of information that's happening here, and that occurs in two ways. One, certain words that are stated during the conversation. When someone mentions a keyword about a profession, and the card that is then the card will be dealt as to whether or not there is a person involved in this. Generally speaking, each suit that you receive after you ask a question or make a statement about a certain kind of person, place, thing, etc., you get a card, or rather the next card that you will be dealt signifies the information that this player has on the said topic. Spades typically mean is more like a place of work, a place that you can find work to do. Hearts means that they're safe or trusted. Diamonds means that it's a good mark. Clubs means they're unsafe or guarded. Generally speaking, you're looking to mention the place, the person, or the thing, but only one of them. The conversation will be pretty obvious to the person listening in most cases, to what you want out of this. In terms of professions, there's a handful of them in my campaign. Of course, there's probably possibilities of more, but these are the ones that I could think of, and if another one ever comes up for what they need, I can always create them, of course. This is a preliminary list, and there's always more out there. There's always another idea, but generally speaking, any of these professions that are already here will be able to facilitate a specific job of a different, more uncommon sort. So, of course, for information, there is the player. We had already discussed this. An assassin is often referred to as a bird. Burglar is a stray cat. Forger is a scholar. The smuggler is in reference to a shipment of some kind. A salesman of an ill-gotten goods is, of course, a fence. Pickpocket is a taxpayer. A slaver is often referred to as a rancher. And muscle, or, some sort of big tough guy, is generally referred to as a farmer. So as the conversation continues and you get the information that you need, the longer the game goes, the more that you are expected to pay. Of course, generally speaking, you're just going to leave your money there as a point of good gesture for providing the proper information in the first place. After getting all this information, or having this conversation, if you will, that you tend to possibly go in regards to the place that you asked about, or the person that you inquired about, or the person that you may be looking to hire, the thing that you're inquiring. A lot of these things are, of course, up to you as to how you utilize the information. Typically, the only ones that speak in code is in the public's eye, and this is generally either in the street when you meet the person in the first place, or in the bar for the information with the player. Once you meet someone for occupational purposes, such as a burglar, smuggler, assassin, etc., generally speaking, you will meet these persons in seclusion or safe locations so that you don't have to worry about jargon as much. Of course, it is implied that you should follow the rules, but criminals are, of course, inclined to do as they will as much as they will. And who's to say that you can't do the same? Don't be surprised when someone doesn't like what you do and won't give you proper information in the future, but you can always do what you like. That just about wraps up this video. Thank you everyone for watching, subscribing, and the lattermost, making a comment in the troll's nest below. This week, I want you to try and tell me, hey, maybe I have another idea that you can add to this list of possible things that you can use with Thieves Cant. There's a lot of things that you can do with it, but the two things that are very important about it is that it is more of a jargon or a hidden meaning to common language, and that it is symbols for generally social things inside of a city. Anything that's within those confines, the sky's the limit in truth beyond that. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, have a good day.